The game you've all been waiting for has finally dropped on Apple Arcade, Beyond a Steel Sky. It has been ported to Apple Arcade by Revolution Software and is a sequel to their 1994 classic Beneath a Steel Sky. Today I'm going to present my initial thoughts on the game and present how it performs across my Apple devices.
Well, that's very strange. More data.
What's very strange?
What's very strange?
Beyond a Steel Sky is a really big adventure game. It is a massive game, not just for Apple Arcade, but for mobile gaming or the App Store in general. I know this is said a lot, but this is a real console experience with Unreal Engine support and a 3D comic book sphere art style that allows an enormous amount of information to be conveyed on screen. It's quite impressive. I'd say the game is on the same technical level as, I don't know, Oceanhorn 2, Grid Autosport or Fortnite, some of the best looking games to be found on the App Store. Beyond a Steel Sky might even be a greater experience, with a large, futuristic world to explore, an unprecedented amount of characters to talk to, and one of the most complex story and dialogue systems I've come across in gaming, with a multi-linear plot flow, for example. The game uses a virtual theatre system too, so characters are supposed to walk around the world, responding to each other and the world itself. It doesn't always work, mind you. Sometimes characters look a little lost, but when it does, it makes the game very immersive, if I can say that, because I know that said a lot too. The story is set in a world ravaged by shattering wars and a political meltdown. You follow Robert Foster, who goes back to Union City in search for a missing child abducted by some sort of robot dog. When you arrive at the city, you'll quickly come to realize not everything is as it seems, and no one believes your so-called story. I won't share anything else to avoid spoilers, but I will say the world and story crafted here is simply fantastic. Walking around Union City, I found it hard not to admire the amount of detail put into the world here. This would have taken ages. In fact, the game has been in the works for pretty much 25 years. According to the developer, it is their most ambitious project to date. This is most likely why it wasn't a launch game for Apple Arcade, for example.
The immigration terminal is easy to find. What's keeping you?
Now, this is where I have to be a little harsh on the game. Almost every interaction or scenario has you solving puzzles to progress further, and you have to backtrack all the time. The problem with this is that the game doesn't give you enough direction on what to do next. Yes, there is a hint system, but even with that help, sometimes it still didn't provide enough assistance. This was most likely a design choice by Revolution to follow suit with their previous game and how challenging the puzzles were there too. And maybe it was also done to make players feel more rewarded for when they solve these puzzles. I'd be interested to see if any of you watching agree or disagree with my thoughts there. My next problem is that the game has a number of bugs right now across all Apple devices. For example, on Apple TV, there was a point when the game would not allow me to interact with any characters, but if I jumped onto another device at the same save point, this wasn't an issue. How weird. On my iPad Pro, the game kept crashing after this scene completed. I had to fully close the app to fix the issue. Next, during character interactions, the camera would often get stuck behind an obstruction. Despite these bugs, overall performance on my devices is for the most part fine, with no frame rate drops, which is remarkable for a game on this caliber. What I find most interesting though is that while the Mac version is, wait for it, 16.77 gigabytes, the mobile version is only 3.53 gigabytes. Yet Revolution Software have still managed to bring you the absolute same feel and experience across all your Apple devices. That's great. The Mac version also offers some graphical enhancements when compared to the other platforms. We have full 4K resolution support, VSync support, access to larger graphics, higher quality audio, and 60 FPS support. This is definitely the best platform to play the game if you have a powerful Mac with dedicated graphics to experience some of these more high-end features. The Apple TV version, for the most part, yes, it plays fine, but it does look a little visually worse. That said, it's remarkable that this is playing so well here considering how old this device is now, and its graphics chip. Nice. Have you played or will you play Beyond a Steel Sky on Apple Arcade? I would say it is now one of the leading games on the platform and is definitely worth taking a look at, despite some of the bugs and, I don't know, challenging aspects of the puzzles. Even just for the technical achievements alone, you should check it out. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and to stay up to date with everything Apple Arcade, don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, thanks for watching.